welcome to another episode of AJ's Green Thumb Garden Friends. So I'm continuing this herb bed renovation. At this point in time, I have removed all of the perennials. I've removed a large, considerably large, little gem magnolia from the center. And now I'm just trying to get the soil consistency right. So I've encountered a lot of construction debris, a lot of rocks, old bricks, like masonry bricks, and relatively heavy clay. I'm glad that I had plants in this bed, and all the roots happened to break up a lot of this heavy clay situation and has incorporated a lot of organic matter as well. So what I'm using here is a Mantis corded tiller. So it can be a challenge. It can be a challenge because of the cord. It was fine to till all the raised beds, but when we're dealing with bare earth or in ground, yeah, it's definitely a challenge. I've got some remaining magnolia tree roots in here. And like I said earlier, I've got old bricks, stone, and rocks. So I make a few passes, and then after that, I take my rake and try to smooth it over. One challenge I had was after removing that magnolia tree in the center, obviously it left a huge deviation. And so I had to really get that tiller in there and add some supplemental soil, from like old pots or old containers, old raised bed mix or whatever. I just threw in this bed and really tilled it in. So the items I'm going to add in this bed are mostly woody herbs. And those woody herbs would be my ARP rosemary, which is a cold hardy rosemary, which does good in this region. Zone 7A, the Mid-Atlantic, and also lavender. And that lavender variety is called Vera. It's an old-fashioned English lavender. So in prepping the soil for an herb bed, herbs require a specific type of soil. And I have to take in consideration the origin of a lot of these herbs. So I'm dealing with woody herbs, rosemary and lavender. And we all know that a lot of these herbs are found in the Mediterranean, and they do pretty well in that region. So they require a neutral to slightly acidic pH level, somewhere between 5.5 and 6.5. So I'm going to try to get the pH level to be around 6. They need a decently fertile soil. So, a common misconception is that herbs need poor soil, but that's not really the case. I'm also going to be putting in here chamomile, Roman chamomile. Actually, I'm going to mix Roman chamomile with German chamomile. And it needs to be, the soil needs to be relatively fertile. Not overly rich, but fertile. And the ways you can adjust the pH of your soil is to use lime to sweeten it, to raise the alkalinity, and sulfur to make it to acidify it. You can use sulfur. So in addition to the lavender and the rosemary and the chamomile, I'm going to use chives. So chives will be my interior border material. So chives, on the other hand, of course, has to be watered a little more often, which is fine. because the rosemary will be the outer border, the lavender will be on the bottom 2 quadrants, and the chamomile will be on the top 2 quadrants. And like I said, the chives will be the interior border material. And so I think I can get away with watering the chives a little more than the other plant materials. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. As you can see, I'm just doing some labor here, going over and over and over again with this tiller to get this soil as aerated and so that it's able to provide that sufficient drainage for these herb plants. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me on this episode, and hopefully the next episode of this herb bed series will be me planting up the bed. All right, guys, happy gardening. See you on the next one.